What's up, guys? It's Corey. OutdoorCor, you already know.
You already know. Let's go. OutdoorCor.
I'm here with the boys from University of Pennsylvania.
Go Quakers!
Boys. So if we could just introduce yourselves.
It's good. I'm John.
Last name
Yapley. Yeah.
John Hubner.
Let's go.
I'm Henry McDaniel.
All right. All right. So all these guys are freshmen. So they're 25s and I'm a 26. So I'm gonna be going to college next year. I'm gonna be going to Dartmouth. So I'm gonna
Dartmouth, let's go.
Let's go. Big dream, baby. Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna be asking them some questions about, you know, the Ivy life and stuff like that.
That Ivy life.
That Ivy life.
Yeah, you already know. So my first question is, you know, going to college is expensive. You know, how do you balance that budget versus like going out? How do you save money? What are some tips to save money in the college life?
Oh, word, like spending money in college?
Yeah.
You just gotta figure out what you value most. Like, you know, in terms of your spending money. Like, if it's clothes you want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me personally, it's going out with friends and just booning in the city.
Facts.
Like, for example, we all, you know, we had a big semester blowout. We went to a Brazilian steakhouse. And,
chow, baby.
you know, just spending money on experiences, I think, is what I like to do personally.
Exactly. I think for me, one tip, go to the dining hall, go to do the meal swipes, because you will not have enough at the end. You will, like, if you say, I'll run out of it, you won't. You'll have, like I think last semester, I had, like, 100 left, and I would just go in for a cup of water or some shit. Like, it would be, like, whatever. So, yeah, go to the dining hall, like, use up those meal swipes, use up those dining dollars, because, like, those, you're going to have enough at the end, right?
True.
And, like, just don't go to Chipotle every day. Because, like, that's not sustainable. Because you already paid for your meal plan. So, like, that would be my advice.
I would say try to have fun on the university's dime. So at the dining halls, at the different club events, like have fun without spending your own money. Like if you can do that, you'll be fine.
Spend as little money as possible.
Exactly. Get, like, the waters. Don't get, like, a big expensive drink or, like, you know, you get like, all the, you know, cut it down, you know, cut it down.
Sure. All right. Good answer, boys. Clap it up. Okay, so this is a good one. Okay, so Ivy life. So how much time do you guys spend a day on like studying and like homework?
Not enough.
Yeah.
It's
still a lot, but it ain't enough, you know? It's still a lot, but it ain't enough.
I think in terms of studying, you just gotta do whatever works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And definitely don't procrastinate, man. Like, set deadlines for yourself.
Facts. Like, I remember, like, it was something my dad taught me. I don't do this ever, but, like, it's something my dad, I ideally want to do, which is that the day you get an assignment, go ahead and start it that day and, like, get a good chunk of it done. And then you can chip away at it afterwards. So, like, because, like, I don't know how many all-nighters I've pulled, because it's like the essays due at 10 a.m. and I'll finish it at 9:55 or some shit, and I'll feel terrible. So, like, get it done as soon as possible, right? And then you can edit it and make it really good, right? And get that A, right?
Big time.
So my advice.
I would just say like that, you know, it can be daunting to start a big assignment. So if you just start it, then, you know, you're already halfway there, basically.
Exactly. And
Hardest part is starting, man.
Hardest part of starting. It was like something I watched a video once, and it was like, it was talking about like tips on how to not procrastinate, and it was like, how would you eat an elephant? You cut it up into little pieces and then eat it periodically. Same with a big paper. How do you do the body paragraphs first? Look at the evidence first, right? And then find your thesis. Because, like, I don't know how many times I've stared at a blank screen and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm writing. And I just stare at it for like 5 hours. And I'm like, that, you know, after 5 hours, I've done nothing, right? Because I'm just too afraid to start it. So, you know, piece it out, right?
For sure.
Piece it out.
For sure. Now, following up that question, so you guys are like back in my shoes. You guys, you know, got into Penn. You guys all did ED December.
ED.
So, what was your guys' expectations of the workload? And like, were those expectations like accurate?
See, I thought I'd be studying what I love to do, and therefore it'd be easy. And I find that true. Like when I do assignments that are actually interesting to me, I find that very easy. But unfortunately, I haven't been doing much that has been interesting to me, which has made the work especially arduous. But I feel like if you take classes that you really with, you'll be chilling, honestly.
You'll be chilling, bro. You'll be chilling. Okay. It's like, it's like, even like, because like, yeah, absolutely. Because like, everything at this, Penn or wherever you go is going to be difficult, right? But depending on how much you like it is the difficulty for you, right? So something you don't like at all, like I'm taking this like Anthropocene class right now. I don't like it. No, it's not it. We learn about rocks, and then we learn about the history of those rocks, and then the history of those rocks. No, don't take it, right?
Don't terrible. Just because you think it'll look good,
right,
or something like that. Do stuff you're passionate about, because money's always gonna follow passion.
Exactly, and get good at it, right? Because when you like it, you'll get good at it naturally, right?
It's the natural.
Let's see here. How prepared were you for college from your high school?
I would say I was pretty much prepared, but I wasn't expecting how little like daily assignments and like tests there are. Like it's like a few major assignments. Like you can have a paper that's worth 40% of your grade, and like it's kind of daunting to shift from like that high school grind where it's like, oh, this paper, it's important, but we have a paper every week that's worth 5% of your grade. Like, nah. It's you got one big paper, and if you mess up on that big paper, your grade's screwed. So
stakes are definitely very much higher in college, man.
Right.
You go to public school like I did, like, if you fuck up, okay. But, every class at Penn is worth however many thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And it's like there are very, very few opportunities for retakes. I don't know. In my school, it was kind of a meme. Like the county was like, you could like, literally there was like, if you get like below 50%, they'll round it up to 50% for any assignment, right? It was a meme, right? And so there was a lot of buffers, natural buffers, right? But at any college, if you fall, you will fall. And like there might not be that many nets for it to catch you, right? So you got to make sure that you stay on top of your stuff.
And always remember that you're paying for it, and you're paying for these professors to teach you. So literally never be afraid to bother a professor about anything. Like you always just like they're there for you, and also don't let them fuck you over either. If you feel like you were unfairly graded, talk to them.
Yeah, you can submit regrades. Right, that's the thing. Right, that's like a big part of college. You can like dispute your grade,
negotiate a little bit.
Yeah, negotiate a little bit. Exactly. It isn't like, oh, I got this pay. Oh, I'm done. Right? No.
Tough.
Doctor.
Okay, so like, I asked how well were you prepared on like the academic end. Now, what about like the like social scene? Like, was there a culture shock?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's a different beast, college. It's a different, because you're living on your own, first off, right? You're not in your parents' house. You can't just like pull up to your like bedroom or something and like just chill. Like there's people outside of your hall. There's always something going on, right?
Always.
So you gotta be prepared for that. And then like, there's all sorts of different clubs and events and, parties and all that are very different than they are in high school, right? That's what I would say. Like you gotta like, it's kind of a learning curve, right? Because I don't know, I know at Penn it's like the clubs are a big deal here, right? To like get into the clubs, to apply for the clubs, and then like also the Greek life's also pretty big here. So there's a lot of parties, a lot of like people going out, people are part of friends and sororities. That's like a really big deal here. But it's not like you like if you're not in Greek life you're screwed, But it's still a pretty big presence. Still pretty big presence.
I would say for the social life, the biggest thing that struck me was like the exclusivity. I mean, like some of the clubs are harder to get into than Penn itself, and like some frats, it's just very much like was not prepared for that sort of aspect.
Facts.
A lot of people get bogged down in the social life, and myself included, because I did not expect how predominant Greek life would be at the university. Just remember you're already at such an exclusive place. Why make it more exclusive?
Exactly.
You know, literally the fact you yourself being there is enough. You don't have to go out of your way for social activities. You know, let that stuff come to you. Just do whatever you're interested in. Don't apply to a million consulting clubs just because. Yeah, right. Just do what you feel like is interesting to you, and you'll be alright.
Exactly. There's this like whole Penn, Wharton, club, frat vortex that you can get sucked into, and I think that's the case at a lot of colleges. There's the kind of frat scene, the club scene that's very like you can just kind of get blown away into it, right? Mm-hmm. You got to make sure to like know your limits, right? You know, try things out, right? Try, you know, don't like just stay in your dorm, but try things out, right? But like know like where you draw the line.
Be open-minded, but also never be afraid to say no.
Exactly.
Because if you can't say no, you're going to end up wasting your time.
Exactly.
And wasting your time is one of the most egregious crimes you can commit in college.
Indeed. There's so many things you can do. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Man, you guys are really speaking some wisdom here, man. Okay. So one of my classmates wanted to know where the APs...
What's his name? Can we give him a shout out?
All right, shout out to Edward for this question.
Shout out to Edward.
Let's go, Edward. Edward on the mic.
So he wants to know, are the APs helpful?
No.
I would say like...
But that's also a very Penn specific thing because they don't give you any credits at all. Like
AP
Psych is the only credits.
If you get a 5 too.
There's like it depends on like what aspect you're talking about. If you're talking about credits, like they sell like you can knock off a year. No, year of college. That's not. That's not fucking happening.
It's 2022.
Exactly.
They're trying to squeeze every dime.
Every dime, bro. Every dime. Literally, I think the only ways that APs can help you is like one to get you in the door. Because if like, I don't know, like, let's say you have, 15 APs available in your school. If you take 10 of them, that's going to be really good for your application, right? In college, you're going to look at them and be like, oh, this guy maximized his potential and did as most as he could. We're going to, he's a good fit for Penn because he's going to maximize his opportunities, right? And another one is like, I guess the final exams, it kind of prepares you for like finals because you study in advance, like 3 weeks in advance. You don't just cram the night before, right? I mean, ideally, I cram the night before. I say this shit, and I didn't even do it, right? But it's like, it prepares you for that, right? I don't know. That would be like the two ways that it's good.
Yeah. For all y'all juniors, man, thinking about applying to college, just remember, APs and subject tests are going to set you apart because it shows that you're really specialized in something.
Exactly.
Like, for example, my thing is history. I did everything in history I could. APs and subject tests, and me scoring well on those showed me that I'm willing to really focus on something in particular. And I think if you show them that you're really invested in one thing and you're willing to get really good at that thing, that's going to show your potential to whatever school you want to go to.
Totally. I mean, it's so important to like specialize in something because that sets you apart, right? Because like, I don't know. I heard this like advice from some like admissions like chairs, right? They said they're looking not for a well-rounded person, but a well-rounded class, right? They want a couple history guys. They want a couple physics guys. They want a couple PPE guys, right? You know what I'm saying? They want a couple everybody,
They want a couple
right?
opera singers.
They want a couple opera singers, you know what I'm saying? They want a couple sax players, players, right? They want a little bit of everybody, right? But it's like, if you just do everything, like debate club,
everything wishy-washy,
mock trial, all this stuff that's like everybody does, like Model UN.
Hey, do that shit.
Politics. Do it.
But just don't make sure you're really good at one thing.
Exactly. And if you really want to like be a lawyer or you want to be in politics, those are great. But if you're just doing it for the clout, colleges will see right through that.
Don't do anything for clout ever.
Don't do anything for clout. Don't do it for clout.
That connects to the social life thing.
Facts.
If you always question why you're doing what you're doing, and if your first answer is clout, stop doing it immediately.
Exactly. You're trying to get to the top house, top frat on campus, big man on campus. No.
It won't fulfill you.
No, right.
It'll be gone.
Because you're always gonna be chasing it, man.
Exactly. You're never gonna be happy.
So this next question, I'm not gonna say who wrote this, bro.
All right, bet.
You know who you are. He said, how do I get women in college?
Yo, let's go.
I'd say just don't take them too seriously.
Bull.
Or not them. Obviously take them seriously.
You're corrected, bro.
Don't take it. Don't take dating too seriously.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
it's not that deep.
It's not that deep, bro. It's not that deep. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
If you find somebody that you really love, or really like, that is, talk to them, see where it goes. And if the vibes are right, just stick with it.
Yeah, don't like watch a video. It's like top 10 moves to get women. Like that's not gonna work. Like
never force anything, man.
Exactly. It's not Hitch or one of those movies where like people are no. Just be yourself. Like literally being yourself is actually like I always tell you to be yourself. This is actually where it's important because like if you like put on an act in front of like a girl or whoever like you're gonna have to put that act on the entire relationship and that's gonna get exhausting, right? So the best thing is just to be yourself, right? Because that's going to be easy, and that's going to be where you can really connect with somebody.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I think it can certainly be very helpful to have a relationship if it's healthy and you have someone you can really feel like you can be honest with.
Exactly.
But it can also be a curse in that you're always stressing about it. It's abusive or toxic in some way. Like definitely stay away from that. But I think healthy relationships can be really helpful in college.
Exactly.
I think healthy relationships, not just romantically, are very important in college.
Yeah.
Seek out healthy relationships with people. Good friends. Non-toxic friends.
Exactly.
Good romantic relationships. Good relationships with professors, because that's going to take you a long way. It's the people you meet who's really going to change your life.
Exactly.
All right. So how do you balance academics, like work, and then balance like social life and like having fun in your college experience?
That is a good question.
That's the golden question.
Yeah.
I think we can let Hugh take that.
Yes, sir. He's the one that's like actually kind of like
Kind of got it down.
Yeah, I just think there's finding the right balance of breaking down such a large university, because if you try to get to know every single person at Penn, you're never going to be able to study and get good grades. So I kind of just early on decided, all right, I want to do these few things and not these other things, and I didn't get hooked into too many things before it was too late. And then I was able to maintain my grades, and then my grades didn't, I didn't have assignments that were past due while I had other assignments that are due like right now. So I was able to find like kind of a healthy balance. But there's definitely kind of this work hard, play hard at college that sometimes doesn't exist in high school. And like it is sort of a learning curve, but like there are a few things you can do to kind of manage it.
Exactly.
And work hard, play hard doesn't exist. Just do everything in moderation.
Exactly. Work a little bit, play a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't go hard in either thing, because then you're just gonna get burnt out.
Exactly.
And that's what people do. They pull all-nighters, and then they like go hard on a Saturday night, and they're like all hungover.
Yeah,
and it's just like
it's just
very unhealthy.
Very unhealthy. And it's like I think the top priority for a person is health. Right? Because when you go out party too hard and then study and you burn the candle on both ends and you're like I remember one time like I came back at like 4 a.m. and then I had a quiz 4 hours later, and so I started studying for it, and then after that quiz I was just like dead, right? And so health gave out, right? And so health is like the top thing, because without health you can't do any of the other things. Right? You can't go out, you can't study because you're sick, you're incapacitated, right? So health is top priority.
Get that sleep, man.
Get that sleep, bro. Get that sleep. As much as you can.
You need that sleep.
Exactly.
Sleep.
Sleep, bro. Get them Z's, man. Get them REM sleep.
In my opinion, I've never encountered an assignment yet that is worth pulling an all-nighter for. You can always negotiate with professors for an extension, because you just gotta sleep, man.
True.
Seriously.
Pulling all-nighters is not fun. Tough on that.
Have you guys done that before, negotiating for like an extension?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're
Big
pretty
time.
open about that?
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, totally. It's like, yeah, most
Because they
professors
understand the
chill about it.
pressures we're under.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been there, right?
Especially
They've
as
literally
freshmen.
been there. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
How do you go about like phrasing that? You're just like, can I get an
Be
extension?
honest.
Be honest, like,
I was hungover? Or?
or you say you're really bogged down with assignments.
Okay.
Like, oh, I've had a lot, especially if it's midterm season. Because usually you ask for extensions around like crunch periods, right?
Yeah.
Midterm season, final season. See, like places where there's a lot of essays due at this, because professors will often stack up essays. They're all due in the same week. Like we had like in one class 3
Don't
essays
remind me.
in the same
Don't
week,
remind me.
right?
Do whatever you can to get it in, but sometimes you just can't.
You just can't. Exactly. And then you explain that.
Yeah.
And because like professors, like if you try to finesse them, you say, my dog ate my homework, that kind of weird, they'll
see
be like,
right through
they
that.
see right through that. They're like, well, whatever, we'll just get a penalty or something. But if you're honest, you're forthcoming, then you can get the extension.
Definitely with the pandemic and everything, professors are a lot more willing to work with you, with your mental health and everything.
Totally.
For sure.
Big time.
All right, so like last question. So all the peeps watching, they're
Yes,
like
sir.
in my
Excited.
shoes,
All the
seniors,
peeps. All the peeps.
everyone, bro. Everyone
Same.
that's senior right now, probably got senioritis.
Nice.
What tips would you give them of like they're about to go to college, like, or you telling your younger self, like what would you need to know right now?
Find the people that are gonna make you a better person.
Facts.
That is the number one advice I could give you.
Exactly.
Surround yourself with the people that are going to make your life better
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
not worse.
Exactly. That transcends college advice. That's just good life advice. You know what I'm saying?
Always
That's like
surround with
just
people
good
that are
advice.
gonna make you better, motivate you,
Exactly.
and are gonna stick by you no matter what.
Exactly. Because sometimes you might be pressured to be in friend groups that are like kind of like they have a lot of moves or they're popular or whatever, right? And it's cool. You're like, I'm hot shit, right? I'm going to all the top frats. No, absolutely not. Because those people will drop you when you're in, bad straight, right? And so you gotta be with people that'll be there, your best and your worst.
That goes back to the question of
Exactly.
if the first thing that you think of is clout when you're, if clout is your motivation, cut it out of your life.
Cut it out of your life, man. Cut it out of your life. Exactly. Also, don't let that second semester get away from you. Because, I remember that second semester, I was bullying. I was, watching, playing CSGO in class. I was bullying, and I almost let it get away from me. But don't do that. Work hard, even in that, second semester where, you're kind of lame duck. You're just kind of chilling, And enjoy your summer, have a good time.
You definitely enjoy your summer.
Enjoy your summer.
Yeah. Enjoy your summer.
It's the last summer that you don't have to be stressed about what you're doing. For
Seriously,
Yeah,
it's
fair.
the only summer.
Internship. I'm like, no. You don't need
do
it.
whatever you want, man. Get a job.
Live it up.
Exactly. Live it up. Exactly. Go on walks or walk your dog.
Do whatever you
You know.
want.
Yeah. What do you do?
Become a lifeguard. Who cares?
Become a lifeguard. Yeah, just sit around by the pool, make money. Yeah, exactly.
Learn how to surf.
Learn how to
you go.
serve.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Sure.
All right, guys. Well, I think that's all the questions I got for you guys.
And I'll draw my Instagram tag right here.
I'll drop mine right here.
If I learn how to do that editing trick, I'm starting small, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, shout out to Corey.
I appreciate that.
Up and coming YouTube.
OutdoorCor.
Bro.
Subscribe, we get 1,000 likes in this
Yes.
video.
1,000 likes, bro.
100,000 likes, bro.
Post notifications on for this,
Bro,
man.
You
man.
can put the bell on, bro. You're gonna need
I
them.
see you people watching right now, bro. Hit that subscribe
Hit
button.
that
bro.
subscribe, bro. Please.
Smash
Come on,
it.
smash that shit, bro. Smash that shit,
You
bro.
see that subscribe button, bro? You saw it.
Pum, pum, pum.
Muhammad Ali, that
Okay, Rocky Balboa, that shit.
Mike Tyson.
Guys, we'll see you next time.
Peace.